Good evening. Welcome to California Today. I'm David Zhang. Here is a preview of some of today's top stories. A California state senator is scheduled for his first court appearance for allegedly drinking and driving. He faces a DUI charge after being pulled over for running through a red light in Sacramento. The Reparations Task Force formally recommended that California offer up to $1 million for every qualifying black resident. But some state leaders question how this is possible with a growing deficit. And a new Epoch TV documentary sheds light on the California exodus, the mass migration of Californians to other states. NTD interviewed California Insider host Sirmak Korami. First up, State Senator Dave Min is scheduled for his first court appearance for allegedly drinking and driving. He was arrested in Sacramento last week after being stopped for not having his headlights on and running a red light.
Irvine Democratic State Senator Dave Min is scheduled to appear for an arraignment on July 24th in a Sacramento Superior Court. According to the California Highway Patrol, the 47-year-old was arrested for driving under the influence on May 2nd. He was stopped for not having his headlights on. Sacramento County District Attorney spokeswoman Shelly Orillo told the Epoch Times that the case is currently under review. The district attorney's office couldn't disclose what charges the senator might face. Min is running for Congress to replace Democratic Representative Katie Porter. On May 3rd, Min posted a message on his campaign's Facebook page apologizing to his supporters for the incident.
A gun rights advocate group is suing the state of California for its waiting period over gun purchases. The lawsuit argues that residents who have clean background checks should be allowed to retrieve their firearm immediately.
The Firearms Policy Coalition filed a lawsuit on May 2nd in a San Diego federal court to challenge the state's 10-day waiting period for gun purchases. The lawsuit argues that individuals who pass background checks without any prior criminal records should be allowed to immediately retrieve their firearms after purchase. So it's requesting the removal of the 10-day cooling off period. The coalition says that gun violence is a, quote, general societal problem and that a waiting period has never been necessary or helped to prevent gun violence. California Attorney General Rob Bonta is named the lead defendant in the lawsuit and has supported the state's gun regulations. According to an April statement, Bonta says, quote, there is no reason that the gun industry should be the only industry exempt from responsibility for the harm that its products cause. We are tired of seeing this industry get a free pass as communities continue to suffer from the trauma of gun violence. He says the 10-day cooling off period is aimed to prevent individuals from rushing to harm themselves or others with newly purchased weapons during periods of distress or anger. Bonta's office told the LA Times it was reviewing the lawsuit Tuesday, but could not otherwise comment.
Other firearms advocacy groups such as San Diego County Gun Owners PAC, California Gun Rights Foundation, and the Second Amendment Foundation have also joined the suit. California is one step closer to approving reparation payments for black residents. A task force voted on Saturday to approve recommendations. The recommendations call for a formal apology from the state for slavery. It would potentially give up to $800 billion to descendants of slaves living in California. Some economists estimate it would cost $1.2 million per person. Governor Gavin Newsom formed a task force in 2020 to examine the harms slavery caused. Some state leaders have questioned if California can even afford the reparations. It will be more than 2.5 times the state's annual budget. The proposal now heads to state lawmakers for consideration. LA County started to ban all single-use plastics from restaurants on Monday. But some restaurant owners say that the new ban fails to have any teeth behind it.
The Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors passed a new policy to ban all single-use plastics from restaurants. The ban went into effect on Monday. Under the new law, only street vendors and businesses that have documented financial hardships can be exempt from the ban. The board cited that 85% of single plastic items never get recycled, as the plastics are hard to break down, and microplastics have been a growing negative effect on the environment. The LA County started to show concern about single-use plastics in the 2010s. The county imposed a complete ban on plastic styrofoam in 2018, but in 2020, bans were temporarily paused due to pandemic lockdowns. Once restrictions were lifted and in-person service continued, bans slowly started again. But many restaurant owners told the California Globe on Monday that the ban has no real power because the county won't investigate who broke the new law, and the fine is not that much. Others added that they already limit their use of plastics and will only provide them when a customer asks for one.
Big tech companies such as Google and Meta may soon have to pay media outlets for posting and using their news content. A proposed measure in California is attempting to save local journalism. Let's take a look.
A bill has advanced in the Assembly Judiciary Committee hearing Tuesday, requiring big tech to pay for news. Companies like Google and Meta would be required to share with California media companies their advertising revenue from news and other reported content. The bill would mandate that at least 70% of their revenue go to local news organizations to help pay for reporters' salaries. Big tech companies would also be prohibited from retaliating against a news outlet for demanding a fee by excluding their content on the platforms. Supporters of the bill said it would provide a lifeline to local news organizations that have seen their advertising revenues decline in the digital era. Opponents, including trade groups and some journalism groups, said the legislation would violate the First Amendment. According to Electronic Frontier Foundation, a digital rights group, it would also reward clickbait content and limit the ability for Google and Meta to fight misinformation on their platforms, as it could be seen as retaliation. Despite clearing another hurdle Tuesday, questions remain about how the bill would be implemented. Some lawmakers noted that Meta's Facebook and Google do not operate the same way. Google scrapes news websites and provides users with summaries of reported content, while Facebook shows content such as photos, videos, and articles to users based on their activities on the platform.
About 700,000 people moved out of California in the last 2 years. Sarah McCaramy, host of California Insider, explores the reason why in his new documentary, Leaving California, The Untold Story. The film was recently released. NTV's Chris Beers spoke with him to see what he learned.
Sia Karami, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Chris.
Why are so many people leaving California?
Well, this is why we made this documentary. We actually saw that a lot of people are leaving the state, so we went on the ground to actually look into what are the main reasons. And there's reasons like housing cost, cost of living, crime, homelessness, and public education. Businesses, it's very hard for them to do business here. There's a lot of regulations. And then there's deeper reasons of why is it like this? Why is the housing cost so much higher? Why is the cost of living so much higher? So we were able to go deeper. And ultimately what we found is that there's always, here in this state, there are a lot of policies that are causing people to leave. The state policies are causing the housing costs to be higher, the cost of living to be higher, crime to be kind of out of control. So people are deciding to leave because of that.
So where is this state headed if all this goes unchecked?
Well, this is what is alarming, that the state is continuing to go in this direction from what we've been hearing outside of the documentary. And while we were making the documentary, we've been hearing from state leaders that are in touch with the legislative body that the laws are still continuing on the path that they've been going in the last 10, 15 years. And if it continues, probably the exodus could accelerate, and more people may be leaving, and we may end up in a situation where we have two classes, rich and poor.
California has just an enormous influence on the rest of the country. How's what's going on there affecting other states?
Well, this is what also we found, is that these policies are actually coming to the rest of the state, other states. And what happens is California wants to be the leader of the world, not just the US, the leader of the world. And because we have a lot of innovation, we have a lot of talent here, we lead in the technology space, we lead in a lot of different industries. At the same time, the government leaders, they want to have all these policies implemented across the board, across the nation and the world. So California has a tremendous amount of influence over the rest of the country, and these policies may come to other states because on the surface, these policies sound really nice. But when they are implemented, unfortunately, they have unintended consequences, as we see in California.
At the end of the movie, there was a guy named Zach, and when I watched this part of the movie, it was really quite moving to me. Maybe you can tell us a bit about what he does and why people like him give you hope for the future of California.
So Zach is actually somebody that is going out there in California. He's going to different parks, different places. He's trying to find homeless people, and he's trying to build a relationship with them and find out why they became homeless. And then spend a lot of time and effort on this relationship so that they can tell him where their pain is. And then he helps them to deal with that pain so that they can stand up on their feet. So he goes out there every week on a regular basis. He's not getting paid by anybody. He's just doing it out of his own heart. And he's built a team, and he's just doing that. And he's going to the root cause of it, which was very touching and inspiring. And no help from the government, and just on his own, and not doing it for money or any other reasons.
Yeah, I can see why people like him would definitely give you hope. Hopefully there's a lot more people like him out there. Siamak Karame, producer of Leaving California and host of California Insider, thank you.
Thank you so much, Chris.
To watch Siamak's epic original Leaving California, you can visit leavingcamovie.com. You can also subscribe to Epoch TV to access all Epoch originals, shows, movies, and much more. We'll take a short break now, but here's a look at what we have for you when we come back. Orange County just unveiled a series of new trails. The hiking, biking, and equestrian trails offer panoramic views of the Pacific Ocean and coastal area. A vibrant display of music and dancing on the streets of San Francisco. Over the weekend, Falun Gong practitioners in the Bay Area celebrated the upcoming World Falun Dafa Day. And the popular Spanish dancing horse show returned to Los Angeles. The largest event of its kind outside of Spain featured a traditional horse dancing competition. Those stories and more coming up on California Today. Welcome back to California Today. I'm your host, David Zhang. Occupational cancer is the #1 line of duty death in the firefighting service. In one Southern California county, firefighters received free skin cancer screenings.
Nearly all skin cancer can be cured if detected and treated at an early stage. The screenings are funded by a Sacramento-based dermatology organization called CalDerm and the Andy Valenta Melanoma Foundation. Vista firefighter Andy Valenta's widow, Kaylee Valenta, launched the Cancer Foundation in his memory. Since its launch, the foundation has helped provide free screenings to over 1,500 firefighters in Southern California. The Huntington Beach Firefighters Association recently donated $2,000 to the foundation to support its ongoing work. Bill Thomas, NTD News, California.
Orange County Parks welcomed a new hiking trail system. It features 5 trails with scenic views across more than 3 miles, built to accommodate hikers, bikers, and equestrians.
The Orange County Parks Department welcomed the opening of the Saddleback Wilderness Hiking Trail System last month. Located in the Irvine Ranch open space, it contains over 3 miles of traversable terrain and 5 interweaving trails, and it welcomes hikers, bikers, and equestrians. Biological surveys identified rare and protected plants and animals before the trail's opening. Orange County Parks and Operations Manager John Gump said the data allowed OC Parks to make informed decisions on which areas to avoid to protect sensitive natural resources. Visitors must register in advance due to limited parking. Small groups can tour with a specialist starting May 10th. Orange County Supervisor Don Wagner said that these trails introduce everyone to the natural beauty of our county, and the views from the trails are stunning. Orange County Parks warns that the area is home to mountain lions and rattlesnakes, and that weather conditions can lead to unscheduled closures.
On Saturday, hundreds of Falun Dafa practitioners around the San Francisco Bay Area celebrated the 31st anniversary of their practice. NTD's Jason Blair brings us more.
It's been 31 years since the practice of Falun Dafa was first introduced to the public. Practitioners in Northern California are celebrating with a marching band, banners, and a parade through San Francisco. Falun Dafa, or Falun Gong, was first introduced to the public on May 13, 1992 in China. It consists of meditation, gentle exercises, and a book that teaches people how to be a good person.
Is a mind and body practice. So these two things together, studying the principles of truthfulness, compassion, and forbearance that Master Lee has given us, and then doing the exercises combine our practice.
Like many other practitioners, Campbell received numerous health benefits after practicing Falun Dafa.
I always thought I was a happy person, but I'm happier. And I just feel more comfortable inside myself because we've been given a way to look inside when problems come up and to, find out how to resolve them.
Besides celebrating the anniversary, they were also raising awareness about the persecution that's still happening in China.
You know, it's a very sad thing. People have been persecuted to death. They've been arrested for meditating in China. So we're hopeful that the persecution will come to an end, and we just want to let everybody know about that, and so they can make a good choice for their future.
And we know for a fact that there is live organ harvesting going on, and primarily from the practitioners of Falun Gong, because there are so many more of them, and because there's so many health benefits to this practice that, their bodies and their organs are for just healthier. So, it's been going on for a long time, and it's just terrible. It's an atrocity.
Pedestrians passing by stopped to listen and learn more. One person could relate because he was persecuted in a different way for doing what he likes.
I love writing articles about the history and the politics, and sometimes the CCP they send police to send police, and those police they tell my family and my family they tell me don't say some bad words about CCP. CCP is an evil organization, and I call them a criminal organization.
I think it's important for us to understand one another with empathy and compassion and love. I think understanding that and learning about how Chinese culture operates before just going in and try to wreck everything hundreds of years of how things have worked isn't going to work.
After going through San Francisco's financial district, the parade ended in Chinatown at Portsmouth Square. Jason Blair, NTD News, San Francisco.
A popular Spanish dancing horse show returned to Los Angeles over the weekend. The annual event aims to preserve the tradition of Spanish horse dancing.
Feria del Caballo Español returned to the City of Industry at the Industry Hills Expo Center. The 3-day horse dancing competition is a cherished tradition that features pure Spanish horses dancing. Every year, thousands of families, spectators, and fans enjoy the event. For Christian, the sport is something he and his family have enjoyed for generations.
For me, this Feria del Caballo Español, this event means a lot to me because my grandma and my grandparents, as I was growing up, would tell me about their experiences. This event allows me the luxury of being able to look forward to it, experience this event, move forward, and be able to enjoy my horse, ride, and continue the culture that my grandpa used to enjoy.
The competition also motivates him to continue doing better.
It's what I love to do, and because of this event, I look forward to it every year. So every year I get better and better. For example, next year, I'm going to purchase a better horse to be able to bring them for this weekend. So every year, this motivates me to do better and better and to have more courage to improve.
Christian says riders and the horses need to feel the connection to be able to compete at their best.
Him and I are one. Me and this saddle, we're one. So yes, there's a connection. I honestly feel like my soul is connected to his soul because I love him and he loves me and we're enjoying ourselves.
The competition ran from May 5th to May 7th. This one-of-a-kind event included nearly 100 performances by purebred Spanish horses, live banda music, delicious food, and a special raffle of a purebred horse.
Now let's check in with NTD's Tyler Castile for today's Sports Roundup.
Let's dive into the Sports Roundup for today. I'm Tyler Castillo. Vida Blue was a former pitcher for both the Oakland A's and the San Francisco Giants from 1969 through 1986. He unfortunately passed away at the age of 73 over the weekend. His career was most memorable for winning 3 straight World Series championships with the Oakland A's and was a 6-time All-Star. He is currently in the Athletics Hall of Fame and the Giants Wall of Fame. The Los Angeles Lakers now lead the series 2-1 after a victory against visiting Warriors. Stephen Curry led the Warriors with 23 points, making him the only Warriors player to reach at least 20 points. The Lakers, however, had 3 players that reached at least 20 points, coming from LeBron James, D'Angelo Russell, who both got 21 points, with the addition of Anthony Davis with 25 points. Lakers 127, Warriors 97. Ryan Yarbrough won a start for the first time since August of 2021 as host Kansas City beat Oakland. It was a painful victory for Yarbrough, who was struck on the left cheek by Ryan Noda's line drive in the 6th inning on a ball with an exit velocity measured at 106 miles per hour. Yarbrough was helped off the field and the Royals said he was alert and undergoing further testing. Yarbrough allowed 1 run on 3 hits over 5 2/3 innings, his longest start since July last year with the Tampa Bay Rays. Perez had 3 of Kansas City's 9 hits and scored 3 runs. Royals 5, A's 1. William Contreras and Willie Adams belted 2-run home runs as Milwaukee salvaged 1 win on its 6-game Western swing with a victory over San Francisco. Adams added a sacrifice fly and run-scoring single to complete a 4 RBI day for the Brewers, who snapped a 6-game losing streak. Adrian Hoser came within 1 out of a potential win in his season debut, but the right-hander was lifted 2 outs into the 5th inning with a 5-2 lead. Thairo Estrada homered his 6th of the season as part of the 3-hit day for the Giants, who had won 4 in a row. Blake Sabol also had 3 hits for San Francisco, while Lamonte Wade Jr., Mitch Haniger, and Wilmer Flores collected 2 apiece. Brewers 7, Giants 3. And that is all for the Sports Roundup for today. I'm Tyler Castillo.
Thanks, Tyler, and that's all we've got for you tonight. We would like you to join us again on California Today every weekday at 8:30 p.m. Make sure to check out our broadcasts on our California Today webpage. You can find it at ntd.com/California-today. You can also find all of our top latest clips there, ready to share with friends and family. Send us a message on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, or through our email, california.today@ntd.com. I'm David Zhang. Have a wonderful evening.